I just got back from my property in Azle, then went to the haunted house, went to install some stuff, and then I got a phone call from one of my friends. And he asked me, hey, Ricardo, would you mind taking this job for me on Monday? So tomorrow I got a big job, right? He said, it's a big job. You don't have to pay me nothing. I'm not doing junk removal anymore. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? You're not doing junk removal anymore. So this guy was in the dumpster rental and junk removal business. And he also did YouTube videos. They weren't that great. The YouTube videos were not that great. He stayed in business for 2 years. And I told him what happened. He goes, and this is exactly what I told. I said I was going to do a video of it. And I think that's the reason he gave me the job. He said, yeah, but let people know. And this is why I'm doing this video. Indio, what's up, man? Good morning, brother. I mean, good afternoon, brother. Good night. No, good afternoon, right? Yeah. Good evening. How about that? And I told him, I said, oh, welcome. And I told him, I said, yeah, what happened with your business? And he was okay in the DFW area. He did videos, but he didn't do any business. So kind of the illusion of doing, okay, how about this? The illusion of having a YouTube channel and a junk removal business, and how much business do you really do in the, I always knew most of these guys that do YouTube videos don't have a big business. They're just doing YouTube videos, right? They're trying to get popular on, he said good morning, good evening, yeah, good evening. A lot of these junk removal owners that want to do YouTube videos don't have many jobs. I know they don't, because it takes a long time to project, and I'm not an idiot to know this. So anyway, let's get to the point of the story. I was talking to him and I said, hey, what happened? He goes, well, can you take care of this job? I got one on my booking platform. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, yeah, I closed my website, but I was there to close my booking platform, and I saw this order for tomorrow on Monday. And I said, I didn't want to call the lady and cancel on her. I was thinking of doing it myself, he said. And I said, well, but I sold my trailers. Can you do it? I said, yeah. Anyway, I really locked down the job, but I asked him, what happened to your business? And this is what he told me, okay? This is exactly what he told me. He said, Ricardo, first of all, honestly, I should have listened to you. And it is my fault for not believing in what you teach. Not believing on organic traffic. So I did everything else. I wanted the jobs now. I wanted to stay busy, and I did stay busy. He said that he was listening to like Sonoma and Andrew, and he would listen to other people out there. And he said, now this guy's been out of business for like 6 months. I didn't even know it. I think he's been out of business for longer than that. I should have asked him that. I hadn't seen him in a long time, maybe a year he's been out of business. And I asked him, I said, just tell me exactly what happened. He said, well, I started listening to other people online, people saying, hey, try a VA. He did a virtual assistant, right? That means he was paying somebody in like Singapore to answer the phone calls for him. Then he was paying for ads. Then he was trying Thumbtack. Then he was doing Facebook ads. And he said that everything just started adding up. Okay, now I'm going to tell you something. I've talked about this plenty of times in other videos, but I want to give his story. Okay, I want to give his story. He said he started out, he paid a company, and actually he paid Matt Fitch to do his website. So he paid Matt Fitch to do his website, and he was one of the guys that got burned only $800 by Matt Fitch. And he said by that time that Matt Fitch had already quit, he had already burned me in the past, so it didn't really matter. And months had gone by. And I was like, okay, But he said that Matt Fitch designed his website about 8 months ago, was doing his SEO for him, was charging him about $1,000 a month to do his SEO, charged him $1,200 for the website. That's one burn. Then he went with a different company called Top Dog something SEO, was using them for a while. Then he was doing Thumbtack to generate more business. He decided to do Facebook ads, and he said that he was doing Google ads. He didn't understand Google ads and was about to hire JRA, but they told him that he needed a $10,000 deposit, and he was like, no thanks, bro. No thanks. I ain't gonna make Lee any more money, right? So he backed off from that whole thing. But he was getting desperate to a point where he went and bought yard signs, he bought flyers, and he's spending all his money. Now, I will tell you, he told me how he got his money. All right, and this is crazy. He said one of his relatives had passed away and left him a lot of money. with that money, it was a lot of money, he left and he bought himself a ranch, a 10-acre ranch down there in Commerce, Texas. And that's where he left right now. But he wanted to give junk removal a chance. So half of his inheritance that he got, or the money left over from the inheritance that he got from his grandma dying, he spent on this business. Dumpster trailer and truck. $110,000. Holy shit. I was like, dude, what the hell? He goes, yeah. And the rest of it was just odds and ends that he was buying. He bought like a remote control to dump the trailer, blah, blah, blah. He said, and I used the rest of the money to buy ads, to buy leads, to buy this, to buy that, because he heard people. He goes, and all the time, you know what's weird, Ricardo? He said, the whole time that I'm buying all this stuff and making money, I was staying so busy that it never gave me a chance to update my Google My Business, to build me a better website. I was just staying so busy paying bills. So he would go and work for Facebook, right? He'd get a job from Facebook or Thumbtack. And then with Facebook, he would pay the bill from Thumbtack. From Google Ads, he would pay the bill from Thumbtack. From Thumbtack, he would pay the ads from Facebook. It was just a revolving account. I said, I understand where you're coming from, Rob. I hear this all the time. All you're doing is paying bills. You're making money, but you're paying bills. She said absolutely exactly what he was doing. And it's sad because he didn't realize, it took him 2 years to realize he wasn't making a dollar in his business. Not a dollar. He said that sometimes he'd have $25,000 in the bank, and the next month we would come and he'd have $24 in the bank. Put it that way. So you got to be aware of this stuff, guys. Now, he's out of business now. He's in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. A lot of people know who he is. But I'm going to mention his name, because he was a really nice guy. He gave me a job for tomorrow. It's a full trailer. I charge $800 for this. I already talked to the lady. And I did this video. I want people to be aware that there's so many gimmicks out there, bro. Yes, Sergio, poor grandma's money, right? You know, that's what I was thinking of too the whole time. I was thinking, dude, his grandma left him all this money with intentions that he would spend it wisely. You know what I mean? He would do something wisely with his money. He would, invest it in something, and he decided to invest it in this pool and make lean money and make other people money, make everybody else money except him. And that sucks, you know what I mean? It really does suck, because in the end, he lost a lot of money. Oh, he did say that he ended up selling his truck and trailer and make a little money off of that. But other than that, he took a big loss. You know what I mean? So anyway, guys, I'm home. I got to go. I'm going to watch a little football, and I'll talk to y'all later, man. Have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.